Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to a new episode of the Vintage Find series. This is episode 13. You know, in some cultures, 13 means bad luck. But for me, this episode, the 13th episode, will be a lucky one, and you will see why, guys. Maybe I should tell you from the start. In this vintage Pelikan box, I found quite a rare pen, and I paid quite peanuts money for it. It was quite a lucky find. The same day, I was offered for it 100 euros by a well-known Romanian collector of fountain pens, and I told to him, look, I promise that it will end up in your hands if it doesn't stay in my collection. So guys, without further delay, I'm sorry for this little intro. I'm very excited about the finds of this weekend. Probably you know, if I didn't tell you, I go every week at this flea market, and I usually go on Saturday, not on Sunday, because it's the first day of the fair, and I find the newest, let's say, old stuff that is sold there. And I usually go at the first hours in the morning to see, let's say, that the early bird catches the fly. And yes, there are different tactics you can use. You can go at the beginning of the fair, but the prices are usually high. If you go at the end of the fair, you could still find some interesting stuff, and you can really negotiate at the end of the fair because the sellers want to get rid of the merchandise quite quick and make a buck at the end of the day. Speaking about bucks, guys, so this Saturday I spent 96 lays, the equivalent of 19.42 euros or 20.43 American dollars. And in this 96 lays, I've included the entrance fee of 3 lays, which means I paid an entry fee of 0.61 euros or 0.64 American dollars. And let me start. Yes, in this series, some of you have asked me to start with the writing instruments because this is the pen collector channel. And after I'm done with the pens and the pen related stuff or the writing instruments, I will present you the other stuff I found there. So, starting with the pen related stuff. I will leave this box at the end because this is the main prize of, let's say, the whole. And I will start with this fountain pen over here. You probably can see at a glance that it doesn't have its original cap. In fact, this is a plastic cap from another writing instrument. But what attracted me to this particular fountain pen is the fact that I believe it is an old pen from the 60s or the 70s. You can see it's a French fountain pen, and engraved on the barrel we have Bayard, Karting, and 245 or 24S. Let me see. No, sorry. In fact, it's 246. and it's quite interesting. So this cap is not from this fountain pen. And I'm wondering, guys, if this is a gold nib or just a gold plated nib. Maybe you can tell me in the comments if you are familiar with this model Bayard Karting 246. If I unscrew the barrel, we can see it is a cartridge filler. I'm sorry for that, guys. It is a cartridge filler and it has a cartridge not stuck but left there. Probably it was not compatible and somebody left it there. Well, guys, I think this was bought early in the morning, and right in front of me, old gentleman was checking it out. And as soon as he left it on the pile of pans, I grabbed it for 5 lays. So this cost me 1.01 euros or 1.06 American dollars. And let me tell you, if it turns out it has a gold nib, I will be quite happy. But now I'm pleased that I found a body of a vintage Bayard at a reasonable price. Now, guys, let me see. I will put this aside right over here. And yes, I've managed to find an old Parker box at a quite low price. I paid for this Parker box 2 lays or 0.40 euros or 0.43 American dollars. Inside you can see it's not so clean. It has this beautiful velvet, not velvet, but this material like a champagne color. This little elastic that holded the writing instrument is broken. But again, at this price of 2 lays, I think I've done quite all right. Okay, so only 40 euro cents or 43 American cents. This is the Parker. Okay, I will leave this aside. And now, guys, I bought this wonderful metallic, you can see metallic box. I thought to myself, oh, I have a similar box like this, and in my version contains two Pelikan writing instruments. But this time it contains two ball points, and I will start with this one, which has an aspect of the 1970s. We can see technically engraved on the cap Markant K7710. It is a ballpoint pen. It has this aspect of the 1970s. In fact, it reminds me of the Mont Blanc Carrera, and this is one of the contents of the box, and the other content is quite interesting, at least for us gentlemen. So made in Denmark, and you probably are familiar with the lady that is stripping. So I'm sorry if there are children watching this, but I must show you. How does it do? Let me see. You turn it like this, and it should remove the. Let me see, guys. Oh, why doesn't it's like life? When you want it, you can't get it. Okay, and now please. Look, nothing. Well, it worked previously. Maybe I've done something to it. Yes. Yes, now it works. And you can see. So, Okay, okay. I think this is enough. Okay. So you get the idea, guys. It's not the first ballpoint pen of this sort presented on my channel. It is interesting writing instrument. Well, wait, what did I pay for those two ballpoint pens and this metallic box? I paid again only 5 leis, or 1.01 euros, or 1.06 American dollars. And let me put also this aside. And now, guys, for the last item is this item, and I was quite lucky to find it. Of course, the old cardboard Pelikan box attracted my attention, and you will see also the beautiful celluloid. So this is the celluloid, guys, and it is quite nice with that green marble accents of it. When I've seen this, because it was standing like this, I asked the seller what is the price. The initial price was 50 leis, or 10.12 euros, or 10.64 American dollars. And I took the fountain pen. I saw it doesn't have a gold nib. And you know what this flea market, you have to negotiate, because this is the way. And she said, look, I've made you a price. Tell me what you can pay for it. So I said, probably I can pay for it 20 leis, but let's meet in the middle and I will give you 30 leis. Well, the trouble is I did not have those 30 leis with me, because I had a limited budget. I was over the top with that budget already. So I waited for a friend. He was kind enough to borrow me the money and I've returned. But this is an advice for you guys. If you like one item from the seller and you've agreed on a price, please ask the seller to remove it from the place he sells other stuff. So, in case another potential rival of yours comes and looks at it, he could make in your absence a great offer, a greater offer that you have done. So, if the seller could potentially sell this product, but if it's out of sight, it could hold it for you. I'm telling you this, guys, because recently I saw a very beautiful chess set at a wonderful price. Again, I did not have the money with me, and I foolishly thought that it won't sell. And in fact, I've returned after 1 hour and it was already sold. This is my advice to you guys. So, this beautiful Pelikan box and this wonderful fountain pen cost me only 30 leis, guys, or 6.07 euros, or 6.38 American dollars. And let me tell you why it is such a nice find. For me, only this box, I will gladly pay for only this box 30 leis, or 6 euros, or 7 American dollars every time. It is in fact well used, but it is quite old. It is a cardboard box. And here, interesting, guys, some details about it. So we have Gunther Wagner Hanover, and the name of the fountain pen which was originally held in this cardboard box. So it was a Pelikan number 400. The nib was an extra fine one, And I believe this was the seller Ikale Schildblatt, or maybe the type of nib. I'm not so sure about this. And the same inscriptions are on the other side. Schildpat. Okay, guys, so now I will move on to the actual fountain pen. And the fountain pen is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful one. I hope you can see the wonderful patterns of it. It has this clip, which I believe it was replaced. I must see what this R stands for. I think it is quite familiar to me, maybe a German clip, and when I open it by unscrewing it, I immediately saw this wonderful, wonderful ink window, quite large and generous. And I've also seen this iridium point nib. So it's not a gold nib. It has a quite interesting ebonite feed. So this was my lucky find at the flea market. Why do I say I had luck? Because I realized only when I arrived at home that this, in fact, is a very rare Romanian fountain pen. Probably the first made Romanian fountain pen, dating back to the early 1950s. This type of fountain pen, it was released in great numbers in the International Youth Fair of 1953, if I'm not mistaken. So usually when you find this rare fountain pen, you can find it engraved with that promotional, let's say, engraving, International Youth. But I'm not so sure if you can see in this lighting. Maybe I need to move it. Yes, you can see. On this one we have simply engraved only Flaro Sibiu. And maybe the name of the owner is scratched there. I'm not so sure. So let me see if I can find. Yes, maybe in this lighting you can see. So Flaro Sibiu. Okay, this is a blind cap, and you can see the piston is right here. So made probably by a German manufacturer. So, or by the Romanian producer Flaro Sibiu using German parts. Probably German parts from the 1930s or the 1940s. This needs a little bit of service, and I can show you also the piston. And look at this beautiful piston. I hope I won't break it when I try to demonstrate the piston. I usually can disassemble it quite nice and easy, but now I don't want to look. So definitely needs a little bit of service. This is a metallic part. I think it usually ended with a cork, a wooden cork. It's long time gone, and probably needs to be replaced. So not a bad find. Not a bad find at 30 lays, especially if you had in the same day an offer for 100 euros. So you pay 6 euros for it, and in the same day you can sell this for 100 euros. Well, guys, I think I have to think about it. This is the trouble with collecting. Sometimes you pay peanuts money and you receive an offer almost 100 times you paid for it. So this is if you watch Pawn Stars, This is a great deal for Rick, but I'm not Rick. I'm not a businessman, I'm a collector. It's quite a difference. So guys, this was my lucky find of the day. I will put it right over here, and I will continue now. For those who do watch my channel only for writing instruments, those were my finds, guys. The other ones are, you will see some little pieces of small things. I'm not so sure are on your interest, but let me start. So, this wonderful Italian jet. It certainly lacks one wing over here. It's metallic, it's quite heavy. Let me show it to you. A wonderful piece. The Italian flag, quite nice. Probably you know I've returned recently from a quite a nice trip to Italy. Unfortunately, I did not have time to visit flea markets or other antique stores. I didn't have lots of time. Although I stayed there for 1 week, it was very intense, my journey. So sorry for this, guys. So, well, I paid for this little aircraft, this metallic aircraft, only 1 leu or 0.20 euro cents. Oh, sorry, 0.20 euros or 0.21 American dollars. So quite a nice little airplane, and I will leave it on the side. From the same seller, I've bought the Pelikan with the wonderful rare Romanian fountain pen. I return and I've seen this little knife. It has something to open the bottles of wine, but it is broken. So I am left only with this celluloid part, and this celluloid part which has a little piece missing, and of course the main little knife. I did not pay a large sum of money for it. I did not negotiate. I paid 5 leis or 1.01 euros or 1.06 American dollars. And let's move on. This time I have a pack deal here. So for all that you see right here, above this wooden box, I paid, guys, only, I think, I don't want to make a mistake. Yes, I paid around 10 leis, so all that you see here, I paid 10 leis for them, or around 2 euros or 2.20 American dollars. No, sorry, I paid 10 leis for them, or 2.02 euros, or 2.12 American dollars. And let me show you what they contain. So, I will start with this little duck head. It's made out of metal, and I think it was silver plated. It has an interesting engraving on this part. So if we look at it, we have Petrucci and Branca in Brescia. So this is an Italian piece. I'm not so sure what it originally was, but again, a wonderful piece. I usually use them as paperweights or something like that. Let's put this aside. Okay, now I have this beautiful leather pouch. It opens like this. It is also branded, so it is Emanuele Ungaro. I think an Italian brand. Let me see. Emanuele Ungaro. and a wonderful pouch to store your euros. Quite nice. Now I have an interesting find. This is leather, unfortunately, is scratched here. What attracted me to it is, I hope you can see this little logo, which is present here and here. And I've made a little mistake, guys. Well, I sincerely thought that it is the same logo as this one, but you can see clearly that it is not that P. Or maybe it is. Yes, it is that P. So, what does this mean? This means we have a luxury map made out of leather, an old one. And let me show you what I've already had home. So another pouch, and I will show you the brand name. It's an Italian luxury brand, Nazareno Gabrieli, made in Italy. Why did I bought it? Of course I bought it because this is a luxury producer, and believe me guys, it also produces fountain pens, like this beautiful fountain pen you see here. So the same logo, it is present right here. Let me return to our map. I'm sorry, our holder of documents. It is like this, and it has a little sign here. Strangely, it is not of Nazareno Gabrieli, but it's BNL. I believe it was from a bank. So B stands for bank or some sort. Again, this was part of that lot. I will put it here. Also in that lot we have this jewelry box. You can see it's not in great shape, but still a quite nice transporting case for some cufflinks or some earrings or other types of jewelry. I will use it to store 2 gold nibs, and I think it's quite nice. Okay guys, and for the last, let me show you this one. UMC, this is an old toolbox made out of plastic in Romania, and I bought it with all its content. I think it was used to like a sewing kit. I will show you what I have inside. So let me zoom. Let me start with this. I believe this is an onyx stone. It looks like it was glue at some point, but it's like a piece of chess, and I think it's quite nice. Let me zoom a little bit out for you to see. Not many of you know, but FLEA was also a producer of different types of sewing kits, and here we have some needles that were produced by them. Let me put in fact, let me put all the content right here. And okay, this is an old button and a blade. I have to get rid of this old blade. I hope I won't cut myself with it. I must be very careful. Okay. And let me see, let me take all the pieces and I will put them back in the box. So let me show you. This is another old button, so this why I said it was part of a sewing kit. And they were lost and they needed to be placed back. I'm not so sure what this instrument is. It looks like some part of turning little piece, okay, made out of wood. It's interesting. So other types of needles, or I'm not so sure what these are. Yes, needles for a machine, for a sewing machine, I believe. Those were made in Germany. Rhine Nadel made in Germany. And those, I think, are the same type of needles. And what do you have here? Yes, here I believe I have a metallic, yes, part. So this is a magnet, guys. I hope I won't interfere with the video. This is a magnet that holds the dummy in place. Also, we have a golden eagle written on it. I'm not so sure where it came from. Another part of a sewing kit. This was used to put the needle, to put the needle on the string, and made again by FLEA, the Romanian producer, well known for its fountain pens. And this, guys, I really don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is, guys. It has a ruler here. Maybe those of you who are passionate about sewing, they know how or how it was used. So again, for all of those, I paid only €2 or 2.12 American dollars. And now for the last one, which was part of that lot, I saw this and it reminded me of a watch that had a calculator, and I thought that this was part of that calculator. But no, in fact, it is a calculator. I bought it because it said Casio here, and also for this Arabic writing. This means that it was sold all over the world. It was made in Japan. Casio Computer Company. It is a Casio Micro Mini calculator, and it had a metallic part here. I'm not so sure if it works. Again, I paid only 20 cents or 21 American cents for it. And it has a great history. It was sold back in the 1970s. This is one of the first variants because this screen has a yellow color to it. They also produce this variant in a transparent screen, but I think it is quite nice. In fact, I found also a poster of it on the internet, and I will include it in this video. I'm curious to see if it works. It needs, I think, one small little battery. I've opened it, and it is in a good shape, guys. So another quite nice find. And now for the last part, I bought this box. I had to negotiate a little bit. The dice was included in the pack. It has also the original key. The key doesn't work, but it enters, but it doesn't close the mechanism. This box contains some chess pieces that I have in this other box. And let me tell you, I play lots of chess in park, and usually when I find old and chess pieces, but large chess pieces, I usually buy them. Let me show you some of these pieces. Starting with the knight, you can see the beautiful knight. They are quite large pieces, as you can see. Let me show you also the queen and the king. You can see they are similar looking, but generally, as a rule, when you see a lengthier piece, so usually the king is taller than the queen. This is how you can differentiate between the two pieces. Quite an old vintage set. As you can see, it doesn't have this, a wood set. And I paid for this old box and the wood set 50 leis or 10.12 euros or 10.64 American dollars. So guys, those were my finds, the 13th episode, and it bought me luck. It bought me the one of the rarest Romanian fountain pens out there. It is quite rare. And since I've started collecting in 2017, I've seen on the market only two of them. I know of five of them in existence, so quite a rare piece. I don't care if it doesn't have a gold leaf. This is part of the Romanian fountain pen history. And it's quite a dilemma for me, guys. What do you think? I should sell this for a profit, healthy profit. So remember, I paid for this, but also for this beautiful box. I paid 6 euros for it. And I could sell only this one for 100 euros. So tell me what you think, guys. Should I sell it or should I leave it in my collection? And bear in mind, this is a rare fountain pen. Maybe it's not appealing to all fountain pen collectors, but I know it's a rarity and I'm a Romanian. And what can I say? You have to love the fountain pens made in your country because there were not so many producers back then, and this was quite an unusual fountain pen for the industry. I believe maybe 70% it was produced outside the borders, and my guess is Eastern Germany, but this is just my guess. So, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Sorry it took so long. I was quite fortunate to find those vintage beauties at the flea market. As a lesson for me, I have to put some economies because I believe that with a budget of 20 euros each and every Saturday, I can go to that vintage flea market and find some nice little things. Uh, Fountain pen related, but also other little things. Yes, maybe I'm a hoarder, guys. Maybe I like my chess pieces. Maybe I like my fountain pens, but I also like old electronics from the 70s. I find them fascinating, and I don't know how many of them are still left outside the back then. I think that this was quite an expensive piece, and now it's in my collection. Who knows how many hands it exchanged it till it got to a trash can and sold here in Eastern Europe. Uh, I don't care really about it, but nice to have it, nice to hold it, nice to see if it's still functional. So, guys, without further delay, I want to thank you for your view. I hope you've stayed till the 40th minute. For those of you who stayed till now, I want to thank you. Thank you for your support, guys. It really means a lot to me. For those of you who are new, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. Sometimes it's hard for me to dedicate my time to this channel, but I do it gladly, guys. And look what treasures you can find out there. So believe me, guys, that this is an old Flaro. Some people think it's number 46. I'm not so sure. This is not engraved with number 46, but think about it. Pay 6 euros and the same day you get an offer of 100 euros for it. So it's not a business for me, but this is my dilemma. Maybe you can tell me what you think in the comments. Should I sell it or should I keep it in my collection? Thank you for your time, guys. I want to wish you to have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye bye and God bless.